What's up guys, this is the Honest Outlaw here, and today I've got something really cool for you. Today we're going to be doing the first shots of the CZ Bren 2, or as I like to call it, the check scar. Before we do that, as always, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. It's because of you guys I can afford guns like this and ammunition to feed it. Bought this gun with the Patreon dollars at my local store. I like to support my local stores as well, so you guys help me do that. If you want to join the Patreon squad, all you got to do is go to the link in the description below. Right around that link in the description is going to be a link with for a local homeless shelter, the YSS in Ames, Iowa. I'd really like it if you guys went down there and supported those kids. They could use your help. Now, the check scar, or the CZ Bren 2, is a really, really badass looking gun right off the bat. As soon as I saw this in my gun store, I had to have it. Never seen one in person, and now I have one. The CZ Bren 2 is a 16-inch 5.56, very similar to your average AR or anything like that, but it's got some pretty cool features on it that make it unique and in a lot of ways superior. So it's got a short stroke gas piston system, very similar to an FN Scar. In a lot of ways, this gun looks like an FN Scar and is kind of sort of designed around the idea at the very least, although in a lot of ways it does it better. Adjustable gas on it, M-lock rail right out of the factory. I think that looks like about an 11-inch, 10-inch rail, which is just perfect for me. I like that a lot. The rail is cut diagonally just like the Scorpion, the CZ Scorpion, so it kind of has a similar look. It looks very cool as well. Weak side charging handle, which is really nice. It's a lot more ergonomic than the standard T-charging handle from the AR-15. Easy to use, big handle, and it works really well. A lot of ambi controls on the gun as well. As you can see here, it's got an ambi magazine release and an ambi 45-degree throw safety. Even that is superior to almost every other rifle that comes out. 45-degree safety is pretty awesome. Decent trigger on here, and it accepts AR mags, which is a must these days in my personal opinion. You have a included pistol grip, which you can't remove, but that kind of sucks, but it does come with a backstrap system, so you can change those if you like. On this side of the gun, you're going to see that the stock not only folds but extends as well, so that button you can fold the stock over. Not on camera apparently. And it does lock into place, and the gun will fire with the stock folded, which is really nice. So it helps with portability, and if you needed to fire it with it folded, you can do so, and then when you're ready to go, you just flop it back out just like the UGG boot stock on the Scar, and it works really well. The stock looks like kind of a mix between, what is it, the XN95 and the Scar. It doesn't look quite as douchey as the Scar, but it works pretty well overall. It does adjust for length of pull as well, just like that. And they are extremely positive, so you gotta have some muscle behind it, but no big deal. Sling mounts up here, the HK style, which you could go either way with that, but it does have included QD mounts all over the place. You got one here, you got one here, and then you got one over here and over here as well. Plus you can mount them to the M-lock rail, which I plan to do. I'm one of the guys that like to run my sling from back here up to the weak side, which we'll probably do for the full review. Cold hammer forged barrel on there, super high quality barrel with an included comp slash flash hider slash brake. Very short, very light, and we're gonna have to see how well that works. A lot of times when you do combination muzzle devices, you end up with something that's kind of the worst of all the worlds as opposed to the best, but we'll see how that runs. Overall, I usually prefer flash hiders for combat style guns, simply because that's really important in the real world. However, a muzzle brake makes it a little bit easier to shoot for fun and plinking and that kind of thing, so I could see why they went both ways with it. It also makes it shoot a little bit faster under recoil, but not that much as long as you have good technique. Full Picatinny rail across the top allows you to mount optics anywhere you like, but you will have to remember that you don't want to put like a QD mounted optic or anything near the charging handle and then smack the shit out of your hand when you're trying to run the charging handle, which is why we went with the super slimlined ScalarWorks mount, which is my personal favorite. It's QD, but it runs very tight to the gun, so you don't have to worry about smacking your hand on it or anything like that. I like the ergonomics and the overall profile of the gun. All aluminum upper with a polymer lower, coming in at around 7 pounds, which is not the lightest gun in the world, but pretty light for a piston design. Now the piston does allow you to run suppressed a little bit better, and some people believe it's better in adverse conditions. I'm on the fence about that. In all fairness, I don't do a lot of adverse condition testing with rifles, so I usually revert to the experts when it comes to stuff like that. However, for sure it does make it better for suppressed use and things like that. So overall, it's got some pros and cons. So the pro is that it runs a little better suppressed. The con is that there's a little bit more weight out front and a little bit more weight overall on the gun, so you're gonna have to take or leave that. But the plus side of the system is that you also don't need a buffer tube buffer spring, so you can shoot the gun folded, which is nice. So it's really up to you whether you like that or not. Personally, I like the gun. I like having a bunch of different guns for different purposes. There really is no one gun that fits every niche. If you want to do everything under the sun, sometimes you're going to need more than one rifle, but this does a pretty good job. I could see this being a great home defense gun. I could see this being a great truck gun, very durable, very robust. So we'll go down to the range now, see how it shoots, see how the accuracy is, the recoil and pulse reliability, all the important stuff that you can only tell when you got the gun in your shoulder. So let's go down. Before we do that, I want to thank my sponsor for this month's video. That's No Name Armory again. I like No Name Armory. They're an online website. They're a retailer that sells all kinds of cool stuff, from ammunition to feed your Bren 2 to accessories to all kinds of other stuff too. If you want to check them out, not only do they sell some pretty sweet stuff, but they're also a big supporter of the Second Amendment. And I like those guys over there, and they do a lot of work for people like us, try to keep our rights, things like that. So I'd really appreciate if you go over there and support them. If you want to get a lot of stuff, they offer a monthly membership. If you buy as much stuff as I do, it's worth it. No Name Armory is a great place to buy gun accessories, so go check them out. I like this.
Got these short legs, takes me longer to get here. Okay.
All right, so we did a 7-shot group here at 50 yards just to kind of see accuracy. Now you gotta understand I'm using a red dot, so it's not gonna be super awesome accuracy, and I'm using Federal just bulk ammo. A little bit high, but overall that's a pretty good group considering how fast I was shooting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all in about 1.5 inches or so. With a magnified optic, I see no reason why I couldn't easily do that group at 100 based on what I normally get. Pretty accurate barrel, pretty accurate gun, and the trigger in that gun right out of the box is really nice. I mean, I shot the PS90 the other day, what was it, 2 days ago? So that compared to this, night and day. That CZ has a great trigger in it.
So what you're saying is the trigger trips your trigger?
So do you, darling. Well, I said it used AR mags, but we're having some trouble getting it in there, so maybe I should have done some damn research and found out that apparently... Oh, this one's seated, didn't it?
I can see it in there.
Doesn't like to seat. Ooh. Maybe we should look it up. It works. Stock's not too far because I was shooting prone, but it works. Shoot that paper target. Works just fine.
Well, that's good considering I loaded a bunch of those mags
Yeah,
and
we
I
did.
prefer to not unload them manually.
We tried a few different magazines, AR style magazines. The newest version of the PMags here, they work just fine. However, I think this is a Gen 3 PMag as well, but it didn't work. Yeah, it's a Gen 3, but it didn't go in there for some reason. It wouldn't see in the magazine well for whatever reason. So we're gonna bump back and stick to some of the standard GI steel mags that the gun came with. It came with 2 of them, so maybe that's what it likes. I don't really know. Didn't have any malfunctions, just wouldn't see in the magazine well for some reason. So we'll find out. Weird. All right, so I might be the only guy in the world that's about to run and gun with a CZ Bren 2 and cowboy boots and Wranglers. We'll see how that goes. She moves.
You're having too much fun today.
I really like this gun.
I thought...
So it looks cool and it functions real nice too. Low recoil, nothing compared to my Scar 16. Scar 16 kind of had a slow, steady recoil impulse. This thing's badass. That's a big gun for you.
It sure is, and I already can tell I'm gonna have problems with the ejection because I shoot rifles left-handed.
Yeah,
so.
it's gonna be, it might be in your face. Bolt release or charging handle, either one. There you go.
And it's already hot, so that's fun.
So are you.
Huh. Dang it! I like it too, so I don't know if we're getting rid of it ever.
It's a fun gun.
It's a lot of fun.
Right out of the box like that, no need to accessorize. Muzzle brake is not bad at all. That single port comp, not bad at all.
Recoil is very low as well.
Very low.
Incredibly low, incredibly accurate. I actually got the top 3 on the dueling tree, which is kind of hard for me, so.
Right, and I got to see him swing. You know, the 5.7 yesterday didn't pop around at all, and the 5.56 will swing that bitch around so hard it almost wants to fall over.
Exactly. Oh, what's that?
What?
Oh yeah, because it did that to you, right?
It did,
These
yeah.
ones?
It doesn't love those damn PMags for some reason here. All right, so what happened is it seems to want to strip the top round off the PMags, and it doesn't do that with the steel GI mag. So that's just one thing to be aware of. If you're going to run this gun as your gun, like as your shit at the fan gun, definitely get those steel mags, in my opinion. So hit that bolt release. Yep.
Okay, let's see how I do.
50 yards. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna take it to 100.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Now, one thing to be aware of for you guys out there is that we are shooting 2 different types of ammunition. We're shooting lower powered frangible up close so it doesn't hurt my steel targets, and then we're shooting full metal jacket 55 grain back here. So definitely runs 2 different types of ammo, which is pretty sweet. So if you want to run frangible up close, you can. Okay?
Uh-huh. You're having fun too.
I am, yeah. You're up, Buttercup. 100 yards with the CZ Bren 2.
I've never gone out this far, so we'll see if I suck or if I succeed.
Looks like you answered that.
That baby is hot.
Somebody's in love, huh?
I might be. This might be my new gun.
I've never seen you shoot a rifle that good. So.
Well, I just keep getting better, huh?
Yeah, you do. That practice does that.
Does that.
My initial impressions of the CZ Bren 2 are extremely favorable. I'm a CZ guy, and I didn't know how their rifles would fare. It's the first experience I've had with them. I've had some PCC experience with the Scorpion, which I really like. Rifle, however, pretty awesome. I would argue that it's better than the Scar, at least for me, especially coming right out of the box. It's newer, obviously, so it comes with a lot of updated features, which I really liked. Haven't got a chance to try out the M-Lock rail, but it is extremely comfortable overall. Slimline handguards are great, but I'm a bigger dude, and I like the grip circumference of the rail. Feels really good. The brake's awesome, not too bad on you at all, but it does reduce that recoil a great deal. It's a really good mix. I was a little bit wrong before. Generally, muzzle devices like that don't really flip my trigger or don't really flip my switch, but this one definitely does. The ability to switch the gas system is pretty nice as well, although we didn't have to run the frangible ammo, which is pretty sweet. Side charging handle works really well. The collapsible stock was a must, especially for different shooting positions that we like to try to highlight on this channel every once in a while. Shooting prone, shooting kneeling, shoot behind cover. Different stock positions help out with that, especially if you're shooting with two different people. My wife's 5'2", I'm 6'4", so it's a little bit different for us, especially for overall length of pull, so that was nice. I didn't shoot it folded, although I definitely will do for the full review. I meant to, but I just forgot about it. Wanted to do a little 80s hip fire. The ambi controls work well, especially considering my wife and I'm right-handed, she's left-handed. The safety selector, phenomenal. That's really awesome, and the trigger itself is really good also. Very light, felt like a two-stage match trigger, to be honest with you, so it was really easy to get accuracy. Accuracy of the gun was excellent as well, way better than I expected. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, exceeded my expectations.
Right. I mean, combat well exceeds combat accuracy. I mean, we were talking like, you know, 1 inch, 1.5 inch groups at 50 yards, and then definitely at least a 2 MOA gun. Easy to hit everything we were aiming at prone at 100 yards, and you could even hit standing target or targets standing at 100 yards, which is really impressive. Very easy gun to shoot, very light recoil, obviously reliable. The only issue that I have with the gun so far is we had a magazine issue. And now I'm not sure if it's made for specific AR-15 magazines or not, but some of the Gen 3 PMags worked and some didn't. We had one that didn't feed at all, and then we had another one that was popping rounds out every time we popped it in. These two magazines here though, they ran really well. And then these are the Brownells mags. Big ups to Brownells for sending those over because they're pretty funny. I love the little gas gauge one. But these are the mags that came with the gun, and they worked extremely well. No issues with those whatsoever. So you might be better off going with those. Overall, is the gun as good as an AR-15? Yeah, I think so. It comes with some features that are better than the AR-15 out of the box, like the piston system, if you like that, side charging handle, which I happen to, and then obviously the folding stock. It doesn't feel cheap and shitty like the UGG boot from the Scar. It feels really well done. Very, you can't even tell that it folds because it's so rigid when it's folded out, and that's a must for me. I don't like to have a rattly ass stock when I'm shooting distance, so that worked really well. Comb height and everything worked really well, which honestly it kind of looks like that might be adjustable too, although I didn't read the manual before we took it out. We got this gun the other night and I've been waiting for a chance to shoot it, and I just wanted to get some trigger time under this thing because holy shit does it look cool. Overall, definitely going to do a 1,000 round review of this bad boy. And oh, I forgot to mention we have the HoloSun 503GU circle dot on this bad boy. This is my standard, or one of my standard rifle optics for review because it's super easy to QD it on and off. Sweet little package, expensive little guy though, coming at around $1,900. So that's one thing you're gonna have to be aware of. Although it's not really that expensive anymore, especially considering 2021 prices. You can get a budget AR for about that these days. So I got this guy in my local store for, yeah, I think what, $18.99, something like that. Pretty good buy overall, and I can't wait to shoot it more. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later. All right, so initial impressions.